form will be shared only in the chat box. Feedback form will be active only for 10 to 15 minutes. Please fill the form in time. E-certificate will be issued to only those participants who attend all 6 days FDP and submit the feedback form for all the session. Now, without further delay, we'll turn to time over to our today's first session. Let me introduce and welcome our resource person, Mr. G. Somusundaram Sir. Mr. G. Somusundaram Sir is a principal, business development, Tex Valley Market Limited, a Ministry of Textile, Government of India Public-Private Partnership Initiative and responsible for 40 plus MOQs signed with Fashion Institute for Fashion Skill Development, industry linkage, and consultancy project on collaborate mode has a great network skill. Connected with more than 50 fashion garment manufacturing, retail, and buying organization in South India,
Shahul,
headed,
1 minute.
yes, ma'am.
Pavitra, Madam Pavitra, can you please mute?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry for the interruption, guys. Government, retail and buying organization in South India headed learn and development program of Gokuldas Exports, a division of Blackstone, and conducted campus placement drives from more than 5 years, associated with entrepreneur development and innovative incubation for Apparel Innovation Center for NIFTY under Atal Innovation Machine of Government of India. He is invited as a resource person for 40 plus institute in management, design and entrepreneurship domain. Member of National HRD Network, HOSU, Bangalore South Chapter, nominated as a member of subcommittee for international linkage of CII, Confederation of Indian Industry South Region. Sir has a professional experience in varied textile, apparel, and education sector to highlight a few: regional head, textile and clothing, IL&FS Cluster Skill Development Initiative Limited, Bangalore, since April 2016 to June 2019. Senior Manager HR, Learning and Development in Page Industry uh, till December 2015. Adjacent Professor, National Institute of Fashion Technology, Bangalore, Jan 2014. Regional Head, Skill Project and Head Industry Linkage, Everon Skill Development Limited, Chennai, February 2011. Of officiating principal of Associate Professor, Army Institute of Fashion Design, Bengaluru 2006. Sir, on behalf of Nete School of Fashion Technology and Interior Design in associate with Bengaluru Central University, is honored to welcome you for first session of 6-day virtual faculty development program on the topic craft documentation and internship. Sir will be starting the session with a topic on craft documentation and internship. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, very nice introduction, a very elaborate, rather introduction.
Thank you, sir.
Very happy morning to all the participants and principal Dr. Sandhya Ravi, Dr. Sudhakar, and all my beloved faculty attending this faculty development program. Congratulations to all of joining this initiative. And really, NITI School of Fashion Technology and Interior Design, in association with the Bengaluru Central University, has come forward to offer this program, which is benefiting all of us. And I mean, it is the best time to share our thoughts and knowledges and experiences. Maybe will be very useful for disseminating to all our students future, because more of the cases like students willing to learn through virtual platform, but we need to have a lot of collective informations and sharing, which will be benefiting. And thank you for this, good learning opportunity for me, and giving me the opportunity to share a few experiences on craft documentation and internship procedures during my tenure in NIFT Bangalore between 97 and 2005, then later Army Institute and with companies. I've been consistently involved in some cluster development activities with respect to some crafts. And I don't know, ideally, Dr. me onto the right track and the subjects which is very familiar. And I'm ready to share some of the very, very exciting experience to faculty members, which may be useful some of the places where you are interacting with respect to graph documentation and procedures. This session's objective is to deliberate documentation process as a part of internship in a textile graph-based cluster industry. In the syllabus, it is mentioned only the industry, but I added cluster, that is informal sector cluster in the name of cluster of artisan crafts, which should be craft documented. And anyway, that is part of our institution's discretion to allow people to do either in cluster or industry, and also the group involved in this. And this is for 30 days after 4th semester. I put the examples and the experience sharing from both the end. One is from the cluster, another one is from industry. And very recently, I've had a chance of hearing Srimati Smriti Irani, Honorable Minister of Textile, Government of India, where she mentioned about this. And Textile Sector Skill Council also published in the LinkedIn about this, indigenous weaving skills and spinning found mentioned in Rig Veda, Ramayana, Mahabharata. So it is more than 10,000, 12,000 years where this craft has existed in the country. So we need to give a great salute to this textile industry people who build this entire industry, which is by all of us now as a customer as well as the institutional professors. Typically, a graph documentation report should have introduction about the craft and also the origin and place, the location, and also the background by which the craft has evolved period of time. It's a historical perspective should be given, and also objective of documentation, and a lot of secondary research through literature review, library meeting, a lot of craft people and publish data for review, and also the methodology by which the documentation will be done, and the process of entire end to end, right from the raw material sourcing to final product delivered to the customer, should be captured in the name of process. And the summary conclusion is the experiences of the team which involved in this craft documentation and the bibliography for the references and all. And the working methodology is a little deeper. The typical way of craft documentation by Craft Council of India and the Ministry of Textiles. I'm just sharing this information to you. A class of 30 students will be divided into 5 groups, and each group will have 6 students, and they will identify voluntarily a location, be a cluster or organization, which will enrich the academic value of their textile and fashion learning. And the institute will connect with the cluster promotion agency. It may be a government or non-government agency, but institute should have a role in that. And also will group stay, food, free environment to research and document the entire collections of that particular location. Initially, the group will a lot of brainstorming and mind mapping activity. They identify the cluster, they debate, and come out with the discussion points by which they can evolve. Their coverage, the scope of the craft cluster development should be, be a industry or cluster. That choice is student group, and they'll have to map the it is originating, and the skills part of the artisans, traditional conventional way of doing things, and also the features of the product, how the product is done. For example, Chanpatna toys or Bellary jeans or Bidri wear and Bidar, whatever it is, the features of the products, and the design motives, everything will be there, and also tools, techniques, and also equipments used in the particular location for making this craft. And also, the customer aspiration, current customer aspiration, and the existing cluster craft offering. There may be a gap. It may be a wider or a narrow, whatever the gap, and that should be identified by the craft documentation team. And also, what are the intervention can be done with respect to skill and other infrastructure. Thereby, the livelihood will be improving, and also the product will get more visibility with respect to the design and the product offering, and also the commercial visibility. And also, there is a scope for new development of product. It's a fusion, or maybe limited to anybody imagination, they can come out with the new product development. And of course, which should be familiarized with the artisan, the craft people. Flow will typically start with defining the craft of their choice. The crafts are available with the Craft Council of India or Ministry of Textiles, and with the DC Development Handicrafts, we can get that. And also the locations of the choices. With the tradition should be studied, and introduction about the cluster and origin, history, and what are the locational advantages of that particular craft. Why the craft is done only in Channapatna, in Ramnagar belt? Why not in Bengaluru, Kolar, or any other places? So there should be some locational advantages facilitating, maybe because of the artisans are living only in the particular place, or any other advantages. So that should be digged out during this, the study. And also the speciality, what is the special of those craftsmanship? What are the tools and equipments they use, and the technique they use with respect to designing or form or idea, whatever maybe. Those things should be digged out. And what is the current existing business environment, and the description about the craft, the designs, and how it is utilized, what is the end use of it, and the availability of raw material, sourcing points from where the raw materials are obtained, on any other intermediary raw materials plus intermediary products are available, how they are processing it, and also the sequence of production process, pre, during, and post-production sequence should be documented. Quality assurance and product safety. With respect to Channapatna toys, the lacquer, that particular color, and it is safety for the children who are actual consumer of the product. The customer may be a mom and dad, or auntie or uncle who buy it, and the real consumer, the consumer is a kid. The consumer should use this product with the safe. So product safety is very, very important, and assurance should be given that way. And ensure that right from the product designing part, the conceptual part, to quality assurance should be mentioned. Sometime if it is export worthy, quality assurance should be come from the particular international agency which is importing from respective countries. And actual craft motifs and designs, aesthetics part, and the tools and technical intervention which I mentioned earlier, which is complementing the artisan skills, customer profile for the current craft, and also we can map the future aspiring customers, and supporting civil infrastructure, power, water, effluent treatment, roads, logistics, market proximity, which is available or which is need to be done, and also financial marketing linkages in order to promote the craft, and the government institution support, because a lot of government missionary departments and agencies are involved in the promotion of these crafts. Be it tourism development also part of this craft interventions, and the scope for new market and product diversification, and of course, how the digital marketing will help this craft documentation. So these are the scope and the mandate for the craft documentation team to do this. Ideally, a cluster should have, by which it is specified by UNIDO or any other international agencies which are doing this cluster development. First, they select a cluster, and they and the SWOT analysis study, identify the need gap. Then, modules or infrastructure need to be filled in the gap, and the capacity building gap again, and business networking. So this is the typical, that inner circle you can see color background. Then other interventions are skill development, design product development, market business development, and macro level socio-economic development. But the institution research bodies, that is our duty as an institution, educational institution, and part of university, and we have our own school and the complete infrastructure. We should have a lot of intervention to develop them and also connect with them to industry association, trade bodies. Normally it is existing, it is in the name of cooperative societies, it is existing. Sometime we can align them with the retailer associations or wholesale buyer association. Thereby the connectivity will be more smoother for both supplier and buyers, and the funding agency in public private domain, and also external resources to build capacity as a individual cluster activities. Some people are very much fascinated about doing this cluster development or a craft development, for which they offer their lifetime and their resources and everything. So this is the typical inclusive cluster development model. If you fit any craft into that, then you can fill all the gaps, and thereby the craft will get the complete and the current customers expectations. Sources to explore the craft tradition of India is generally the craft. I mean, when we visit some friends' home or relatives, find something very interesting and fascinated. We develop the idea about to have pieces of the same craft. Similarly, the students also can browse relatives and friends and or any other sources by which individual will become a source to explore the craft traditions and local heritage architectures and market. Craft markets will be futures. Typically, Kaveri Emporium is one source. On MG Road, we will find a lot of crafts coming from different parts of the state as well as from other states, adjoining states. So the culture center also will do that. Rang Chandra kind of thing. At times we can see some of the crafts are displayed and sold for people's interest. Public library and secondary research is another source. Primary research field survey, that is the typical graph documentation which we are doing, and sometime when we are doing the same primary research through a virtual mode, then a Google form can be used. Institutions and CD documents, which are published documents available with the NIFT or any other fashion institutions have been done, can be a source which we can be circulating, or we can allow the students to refer. Then Museum Archaeological Survey of India is another source, especially Badami, Nagarhole, and those area. If you go, Archaeological Surveys of India, ASI is a Government of India institution, which is giving lot of idea and published material, have pamphlets, and also they have the exhibition of the crafts in museums. Government departments that promote craft culture clusters. NGOs play a major role in craft cluster development. And textile cluster is a topic which I have taken as an example. It's very comfortable for me, but at the same time, it is of our interest because we in fashion technology and the clothing and apparel, whatever the name we give. But I end up all connected with clothing majorly, and that is why I have taken this as, and also I will showcase some of the experience with respect to this only. Why it is important? It is existing more than 2000 years in the written documents, but as we have seen this earlier document, it is mentioned in Vedic literatures and even Indus civilization, and so many before 5000 years also there is a trace of textiles available. So it is a very, very long tradition and also historical one in our country. India typically houses the highest number of handlooms in the world. Of course, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and Bhutan, and Sri Lanka, and Thailand, Indonesia, they have some portion of handlooms, but majority of the looms are available only in India, in our country. Nearly 24 lakh handlooms are in operations. And our country has got ancient heritage design culture, and artisans are indigenous, intricate skills which are very, very difficult for other people to copy or duplicate it. And they have, each craft has got its original form and idea, materials and product, and it has livelihood options for artisans. That is very, very important because it is contributing the socio sustenance, at least if not improvement or development, at least sustenance of them then carried out by this textile clusters. And 85% of global handloom productions are coming from India. That's a very we are doing. And there are some handloom displayed in White House of the President of America, as well as any other 10 number 10 Downing London, any other landmark of the room or the palaces, we can find the presence of handlooms from India. And very nicely, we should see that the crafts, handloom clusters especially, use natural fibers. Most of the cases, it is natural fibers. Of course, due to some scarcity and also the cost of high cost of raw material, sometimes they use synthetic also, but not majorly synthetic play a role here. Wide range of design products end use are available, but they do everything without a CAD thing. That is typically from artisan skills. And handloom contributes 14.6% of our total Indian cloth production. That is almost 1/8 of our production, fabric production, come from handloom sector. 6 million plus workforce directly involved. They are mostly rural and also below poverty line and depends on this craft. They are a major livelihood source. High value addition is possible design and pattern, but only thing, the marketability is missing. I mean, they make very, very intriguing. Ikat, the word represents the tie and dye and heritage and design, which cannot be done with any algorithm on even artificial intelligence cannot substitute the skills of our artists. But problem is, I mean, the ikat, which is in Odisha and some part of Karnataka, I mean, not marketed, respect which it deserves. That's a major problem with the clusters. And of course, it is having presence in every, of course, 470 handloom clusters are in 29 states and the union territories put together. 230 clusters have more than 1,000 looms. And some clusters are very big, mega handloom clusters are there. 41 clusters are there in Kannur, Karur, we can see, and also in Erode area, Chennimalai, and some places, Bagalkot, Rabgavi, and Banati, Gadag area, if you see, there are more than 10,000 plus looms are present. 20 states have handloom development departments dedicated for the development of this handloom crafts, and 30% of handloom products are exported, and 250 cluster products are export worthy, and they supply to more than 50 overseas markets. And we are very familiar with a lot of handloom products. Every state has got one or two representation, right from Jammu Kashmir to Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Maharashtra, any places you name it, we have at least a land handloom craft is present. That is typically representing the particular state or the location, the region, or the people who live there, and their attributes a lot of characters and the uniqueness, and the exhibitions are very, very, very unimaginable, kind of very, they do this. Typically, every places, the raw materials are cotton, wool, silk, jute, of course. Sometimes the blends of cotton, synthetic, or cellulose are used. And most of the time they use natural dyes, but sometimes synthetic dye is done. Traditionally, they do cotton and extracts of leaves, roots, and the bark of plants. And the cones on the pine cones are one of the major reasons or source of the dyes which done, and a lot of other indigo plant you may be knowing for denim crafts like this. It has got a lot of sources for dyes, and naphtha dyes are expensive, but of course they are used by direct dyeing method. And the sulfur is banned in Western countries and some part of our countries also. Some of the retailers don't buy sulfur dyed products, but it is in the name of heritage and artisan products, it is being done and sold. Typically, handloom material cost about 300 to 400 rupees product, maybe a bedsheet I'm just referring to. The raw material constitute about 40%, labor cost about 30%, marketing cost about 10%, profit is only 10% for the product. But these retailers have 100% margin on this, and they make a very big, these people suffer. Tools, I just put some common tools which are available in all the places. Lane loom and throw shuttle loom, fly shuttle looms are very common. Loom is very common in South India, and bobbins, wooden plastic spools, bamboo sticks and rods are used for hanging on dyeing as well as for drying both. Wooden sticks and cement dubbs are used, and backstops are maybe leather sometime, some artificial leather also. Wooden beater is generally done. Now some replacement happens with aluminum frames and all to reduce the weight. Thereby even women artisan can use it, which is done it in Pochambali. And this, our silk board of central silk board has developed some modernized handloom which has got a lot of pulleys and wheels. Thereby the motion, warp and weft motion is done very easily without much effort. Thereby a traditional artisan who works for 4 to 5 hours in the handloom, now he can or she can work up to 8 hours without major pains. Lot of products are available, but I mention only very few common products here. Bedsheet spreads are very common. Cutter is there. Dress materials, door mats, durries, dyes, wrap around lungi kind of things, and the shawls, saris, scarf, shirt materials, of course. Khadi shirt materials are very famous, and table mats, and of course towels, kitchen purposes and bathroom accessories are available from handloom source. The production flow comes from yarn sourcing, and they do hang yarn dyeing, and sometimes they use tie and dye also. They make warp preparation and also beam rolling and heel denting and then in the that warp is taken after the insertion, the loom for weaving, and the meantime for they make pin winding and bobbin winding done, and they do the weaving. That is a the warp with the interlacement of the weft and the fabric taken for printing, and they do the finishing and finally taken to market. This is the craft production flow. And for printing, sometime you should be little careful with the printing part. A lot of preparation required. So there are traditionally, followed methods are there, like using safety tools and gloves, because some chemicals are injurious to health. But sometime now, majority of the people who do the natural things and all, they don't wear gloves. But of course, it is better to have safety tools and the preparation of the printables and the motifs prepared in different forms and methods, and they are placed on the fabric. Then they use the blocks or roller, and they use the printable ink and dyes. Then they make the print on the fabric and do the drying. Natural dyeing is done. Then they wash it for the removing the impurities. Then finally the fabric finishing. Then cleaning of the tools and tables. Tools there. This is the printing process for the craft production. I just showcase a couple of craft on the background. One is Arni handloom silk saree. It is typically it is a craft. Arni silk saree is different from Kanjivaram or Dar or Mysore silk because of the flies of the web and waft. And it is done by one of the Niftians by name Ashwati. Of Ministry of Rural Development, also Development Commission of Handlooms Handicrafts, with the participation of NIFT and National Center for Jute Development. They made a study in Arni for 3 weeks time, and 2 weeks they spent time in the craft area, and 1 week for the documentation and the submissions. They captured a lot of lifestyles and the habitants, living setting and the location, how they are. Most of the work sheds are attached to the homes. Backyard of the homes become the work shed where the artisans don't move away from the home, but they still work at home only. But the backyard is only for the handloom purposes. And sometimes they use the general public places, amenities for dyeing and all the block printing and other things. And they have the different lifestyles, like a lot of celebrations, festivals, and the pujas, and also the social engagements, like marriages and other events. Thereby, they get a lot of inspiration from there, and the temples are the sources for designing the border mainly. It is all done it in the stones carved with the lot. Each pillar will have 4 side design, so there are 100 or 200 pillars. So it is typically offering about 400 permanent design source in any temple. People adopt a lot of designs and make some fusion about it. They replicate in their borders and pallu. And the public road place or the sideway of the roads are used war preparation and also the dyeing and putting the ganglion drying. Then they make the bobbins and also warp and taking for the loom. And they have a lot of natural sources, and fruits, vegetables, and leaves, roots are used for dyeing purposes. And sometimes they use synthetic also. And the sari preparation is is a long process, and a person can weave a sari after putting about 48 to 50 hours. So in a week they make about 1 or 2 sari only, but that is a livelihood opportunity available. But the craftsman skill is very, very important. A lot of intricate things are there with respect to the border preparations and dobby setting, jacquard designing, all those things. But they do it, in a very, very domestic way. Without making much infrastructure facilities and all. But now, after the intervention from different government agencies, including the craft accommodation attempt by lot of institutions, now the come and they make the workplace very clean, tidy, and also use certain tools which are, reducing the human efforts. Another one is about the Patiala craft, which is very Pulkari design embroidery, very famous. Again, by IFT Jalandhar, is North India Institute of Fashion Design. Team has done the Haveli lifestyle is the history they followed. They made the documentation with the Pulkari and jute and this and wooden work with a lot of inlay of designs, taris and jolly work and other things in Amritsar and Hoshiarpur and Patiala. Punjab is a very rich heritage and traditions for handloom products, and also the salves and the taris and also the carpets are very much there, and they have a lot of tracing of informations attributed to Indus Valley civilization, and they are doing it with the modern development of industry as well and agriculture development. And also this region, thanks ma'am. This region is more focused. Patiala region is more focused on Pulkari, maybe because of the locational advantages and also the interest of the people. And they made the embroidery, braiding work, and footwear designing, and they want to reflect a very rich culture and tradition in their lifestyles. That's why they make very, very rich looking embroideries and braiding part, and they very, very domestically used. It is not very rich or costly. Even the very normal family, and they can make it and use it. Generally, Pulkari means a flowering, blossoming, or the seasonal representation. It is an embroidery craft done in simple and sparse design over shawl and dupattas normally. Artisans make colorful tarn stitches. So that is a major Pulkari embroidery with the traditional motifs mostly associated with style. They just reflect their lifestyle, and the craft is part of education of Punjab state. It's not a compulsory or mandatory, but it is optional. But still, a lot of girls and most of the girls opt for it and they learn it. And it is a customary for parents to gift rich embroidered clothes to girl children. That is the lifestyle habits they do that. And Pulkari is done for both domestic purposes for their events, like marriages and all, or birthday celebration and all, but also commercially they make and sell. The main characteristics of Pulkari embroideries are use of tarn stitches on the back side, wrong side of the coarse cotton cloth with colorful silken threads. That's a highlight of this craft. It is originated since 15th century. That's the documentation mention about it. It came from Iran, where it is known as Bulkari. Now in Punjab, maybe the word represents Punjab, so Bulkari is added that way. There is a reference to this craft in folk songs and historical plays over many centuries. And done it in Punjab and of course in Haryana and some northeast part of Rajasthan as well. But hub is Pulkari, hub is Patiala. Tripoli is a trade place, and every home is engaged in this craft and commercial purpose. The true Pulkari where patterns are dispersed at the interval, and it's a repetition of the motifs. And sometimes the background is kind of a thing, so that the craft is displayed. There are other additional accessories or trims to make this craft very, very attractive. And the Pulkari motifs contain life in villages, innumerable and intricate geometric patterns, limited to their imagination, everyday lifestyle, everything is represented. And mostly the agriculture output like wheat and barley stock with the hearse or as a common motif with the flowers are displayed. The base fabric used in Pulkari is a gattar, that is a coarse yarn made fabric and loosely woven mesh, and the threads are ideally it is silk. Ground fabric colors is mostly white, shades of red or dark blue or black. Background is generally maroon or scarlet colors for the printable areas. Thereby, the embroidery will be attached later. Knot stitches, stem, herringbone, other type of embroidery stitches also used. Most of the embroidery stitches they use it, but at the back side of the fabric, and they cut and the designs are displayed on the front side of it. Best quality of silk from India and other countries all used, but most of the silk threads are from India only. Fabric is the first process according to the processing. The blocking is done through wooden blocks and are carved according to the motifs in wood, and that is wrong side of the fabric. Then the darning stitches is done, thereby the Pulkari is displayed in the front side of it. Tripoli in Pulkari in Punjab, where every house the area it is done. It's a way of their life. Every age group of women is practicing it, and also they sell for the tourists and also the commercial outlets. And there are some leaders of the craft societies and the women association. They make self-help group kind of thing, and they involve them and bring that product to the very, very good market opportunities. So they bring with the high value addition business networking and marketing opportunities. Now I take you through another industry craft development, which is mentioned in our syllabus part of it in BOS. Industry craft development is done with the specific to a craft, but it is not one particular industry as such. It is the organization. We can take it in that way. Generally, they go to an industry or the retail brand or the manufacturers of a retail brand. Sometimes like Vijay Lakshmi Silks kind of thing, what is available in Bangalore also. They are organization with a particular form, and they have sometimes they outsource it also, done by a group of people as a group study. They do not only the front end marketing or retail activity, but also the back end where the raw materials are sourced to the entire thing. The journey is the final product, the craft may be vanity case or lipstick case or purse or maybe cell phone or it may be dresses or footwear or anything. Typically an organization which involved in this craft marketing would be covered as a part of internship study, and 30 days is enough, more than enough to scan the entire end to end, right from sourcing to the final products. this documentation process in the industry also typically almost equivalent to this cluster activity only. Here only changes, there is a defined organization involved in that. Instead of the whole cluster or geographical location, it is one organization where they get all the informations, both primary and secondary. And they also study the craft and artisans' background and the history and the heritage traditions and also locational advantages. And what is the current business environment? What is the growth opportunities and how it has been done over years? And also the description about the craft and designs and also the product forms and the availability of raw material, sourcing of raw material and production process, quality assurance, motives, tools, techniques used, and the current customer profile. So, what are the supporting infrastructures supported by or provided by this organization, and marketing linkages for this particular organization, and also how marketing from the government, and what is the scope for new market and product development. As such, problem solvers, our documentation people are also do little bit of research over that, and they can tell, how they can come out with the new market opportunities and how the digital marketing will roll. I've taken this industry situated in place called Chennimalai near Coimbatore, between Coimbatore and close to Tirupur, of course, a very prominent place for agriculture and also the traditional way of doing things. And just side of the Chennimalai town, there is a big hill area where there is a temple, and people do very traditionally, conventionally over last 100+ years. They just spin the yarn and make the hang yarn form and dyeing it and drying it on the roadside. And the warp is also done in the same way. It's all public facilities, they use it. And typically the party aji of that family will do this kind of bobbin winding, help support this weaving activity. And the conventional way of weaving is done in a very, very poor workplace conditions, poor ventilation and whatnot. Looms are not modern, and also a lot of wear and tear is done. And efforts is needed to make conventional weaving to achieve craft, the bedspread or bed cover, whatever it is. But if there is need for a change is formed under the social corporate responsibility by a major organization called UR Section Private Limited, who are the one of the promoters of Tex Valley. And 5P Ventures, as a part of CSR, they venturing into the changing of conventional way of making things to make these products in a very convenient situation and also customer focused. Thereby, the product will get lot of respect and also value. So primarily, the 5P Ventures objective is to protect, preserve the craft culture and also promote handloom textiles in general, and also make prosperity shared with the weaving people and the posterity of the weaving tradition of Chennimalai. It is a craft. Chennimalai is one of the craft identified. So they have a very big shed with modern facilities. They do apparel, home textiles, kidswear, of course, and they have end-to-end connectivity. Look at the shed, which is more than 20,000 square feet area with the spaces, illumination, ventilation, and for the person. And also the looms are wider width, of course, but they have a lot of engineering done, redesigning done. Thereby, the who works on this machine will not find and the pains in the hands and legs. The products are, they make fabric, the garment. They have two divisions. One is dealing with a lot of fabrics, but of course they have finished products like pants, dresses, jackets, home furnishings. But a lot of the traditions of the craft is maintained without compromising the tradition of the craft. Done there. This is the typical way the loom is placed, and the workman make the products, and they come out with a lot of products which are, of course, in tune with fashion forecasting and also the market trend and acceptance. And also they have customized products for a brand, and they are one of the major suppliers to Raymond's Khadi and handloom division. They make every year 20,000 meters of handloom products to be sold through Raymond's exclusively. Now Reliance Trends also, started buying. Typically, they bring a lot of students and also internee and the craft documentation people, both in India as well as from abroad, and they make that the students living in that place itself along with the families of the weavers, because traditionally the craft is done by family members. Lady members will do some soft part of the work, like winding bobbin and dyeing part of it, designing part of it, whereas the men's do copying and the heavy hard work of that particular thing. Fusion of both family members support by which, so it is the work from home they follow for many centuries. It is not pandemic, but exactly they work from home for the product. It should be respected because the entire family involved in this, right from cotton to final fashion delivery. This people developed and constructed a loom shed which is green, and they use even that the bricks and everything, porotherm blocks, thereby no air condition is required. The thermal inside condition is very much monitored. Even we have done a study with IoT monitoring. We put 3 sensors and monitor the humidity factor, temperature factor, and to our surprise, the inside temperature and humidity is very, very, very salubrious, so that the weavers don't find any pain in that. And it is each shed is 6,400 square feet area. For every 26 looms, they have 75 looms to 100, thereby 4 sets. So the total build-up area is about 20,000 square feet area. And inside and outside of this work shed, you can see here, it is different from the work from home or work shed with the home kind of thing. And it has got a lot of spaces and convenience. Look at that, the side part of the loom. On the left-hand side, see, it has got some mechanical intervention, thereby the efforts the handloom weaver is reduced. The human efforts are reduced, and the wooden beam is replaced by mechanical or steel blanks or iron blanks. Thereby, the rotation and the pulleys and wheels are used, and the gearbox is available. That the speed is controlled. And typically, the pun and other things are there done, and the craft is done by hand only. Thereby, it is handcraft. Basically, it is a handloom product, but it's a handcraft. And these people directly source because they are agriculturally connected people. So, and they own farm, and also they also tie up with some farms, producing cottons exclusively. Not only cottons, even some kind of jutes they procure, and of course silk they buy from Central Silk Board only. They have directions, and the cottons are traveled to their warehouses in a very, very safe way, and it is given to spinning units. And totally spinning is done for coarse to fine count in a specific way. And they do the dub dyeing, but instead of the earlier part of pot and cement tubs, now they use stainless steel, which consumes less energy but faster output. And they make tie and dye also, and complete solid dyeing they do like this, and they typically make different shades to offer bringing in. And also the warping, sectional warp is reduced miniature level, and the warp is done according to the products. And the denting and the insertion is done in the heel frame and the set in the, and later with the pone winding and bobbins, then they will use it for the throw shuttle and they make the interlace of. to make a very, very artistic and craft products. There are standing model looms and sitting model looms is done according to the product description. Fine deliver the dreams. They make the products of fine yarn count to the course for home textiles and furnishings, fine counts for dresses, and they weave the dreams for us. There is a professional team attached to this, study the forecast as well as they do a lot of trend analysis, interacting with the buyers and also retail analysis, and accordingly they develop the sketches and bring new products. And in every process, they involve the artisans. Thereby, the designer, artisan do the things together, and thereby the jacquard or Dobby or any other design they make, all are inclusive. Thereby, they bring in a good design offering to people. And they also every year they make a swatch book mentioned for the buyers, retailers especially, and they make different varieties like cotton, linen combination, modal, tensile, recycled cotton, rayon also. Of course, rayon also part of that regenerated thing. Eri silk and Dobby jeans, which will display with the colors mentioning everything. Thereby, the buyer can decide a offer the products, what to be bought and all. Make the range of fabrics with a lot of, and this weaver, suppose he is involved in a particular design, will cataloged and also supplied along with the products. Also, they have another leadership program called the Common Objective. The company objective and the weaver, the designer, all are sharing the common idea. And finally, the maker of the craft is the leader. So they make CEO Leader Award. Every year, 10 people are picked up from the worksheds and nearby craft area, and they will be awarded. And they have certain, classification of, attributes by which these people are measured and certified, and they make the very, very proud and respectable products. Maybe it's a craft or wall hanging or decorative products, or maybe design, or maybe a patchwork or applique. They make the products which are very delightful to the customers. And they are also having, in the website, you can see they have a co-create with 5P options to build sustainable homes and wardrobes. Suppose, you are building a new house or shifting to new place or redecorating your home, then just they will give the offering. They give you architects interior design. That's why school will play a major role by tying up these people. They can choose a select from the existing range or sometimes new also, and then the fabric dyeing, yarn dyeing can be done, and they bring the products with the embroidery options, and finally the sampling is done once it is approved in bulk way, and entire things are from the customer. So the king or queen, they select the swatch and decide what to be done for decorative purposes or furnishing purposes or home utilities or maybe uses. Right from the beginning, since 14, there is an involvement from international universities, and RMIT University from Melbourne, Australia, with the team of designers come and spend 9 months here, part of the study exchange under exchange program, and they make a lot of the products, and they live in the place itself, mingle with the weavers, artisans, the dyers, and even the ladies, and some of them picked up about 20-30 words to converse with them, and they eat the regular food available in Chennai region, and the intervention is very, very remarkable and totally very helpful value addition for the weavers with their intervention, and it is a tradition continuing now. Gales Brooker Institution from New Zealand and Indonesia and also Italy are involved, and a lot of universities are now brought to NID NIFT people are also working in this, and it is one of the craft of IP and the products and the process people. So the company of IP products people are documented by and also NID team. And now they offer a lot of new versions to meet international standards and retailers' demand. Sustainable fibers, fabrics, artisanal fabrics also done. It is the artisans are preserved because their objective is to protect, preserve, and bring the promotion to prosperity to the weavers. And the operation is done with the leadership of Sri Bharati, daughter of Vice Chairman of Tex Valley, Mr. Devarajan sir. And it is a CSR project of URC, of course, and they manage things with artisans and also some professionals hired from some of the institutions. She herself is a graduate from PAG College of Arts and Science, is a commerce graduate and done her master's in Singapore with Grenoble Graduate School of Business, and enter into this venture, make the fabric under the 5P venture name, and designer stuff is done by another outfit. It's called Nool by Hand. It is again available in Facebook and websites, Nool by Hand. They have all the shop collections and styles and designs every year. It is one of the new collections. What you are seeing is the latest July 29, 2020 or July 20th kind of thing. The very latest one we are seeing. And August 6th, they posted on very new, their latest one, the web. It is called the Nool Journal, by which you can see in the blog and page you can see. And of course, they are on the RAM regularly, both international, Textile, they are part of it, and the Macy Frankfurt, they participate. And in India, CMI Fair, they participate. And of course, Weaves last, they are participating in Tex Valley. And you can get connected with 5P thing. They invite every one of us. They are ready to open the gate to work with us. But their base office is in near Erode. That is just outskirts of Erode. Highly connected with Tex Valley for the promotions. So one of my current assignment is to connect this 5P ventures on your right hand side, you can see left hand side, with Atal Incubation Center, which I'm working closely for the incubation purpose. Of course, we met the director and former vice chancellor of Bangalore VIT University, Dr. N.R. Sethi sir, along with the principal madam, Sandhya Ravi madam, and Nifty T and myself representing 5P and Tex Valley. We had discussions to formalize certain arrangements. Thereby, we can arrive at non-cotton natural fiber based craft developed in the cluster settings, and we will intervene in the name of ideation, innovation, incubation, and indigenous products. So I thank Dr. Sandhya Ravi for a continuous support of the commercial point of the craft and also the students learning. And of course, Dr. Sudhagar, my lovable friend from Department of Apology for this opportunity. Thank you very much. Thank you every one of this webinar for put off your time and sharing the knowledge with others. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge and experience with our participant. Indeed, it was an interesting session. Sir, with your permission, I would like to read out the questions raised by the participants. Dear participants,
yes,
you can just put up your queries in the chat box. We'll read out for you. Sir, there's a question for you. Good morning, sir. This is we would like to know their project funding availability of academic institute where students would like to work with cluster and bring design and marketing intervention.
Bhanumati should be a guiding force for us because PAG College of Technology and the institution group is the highest receiver of funding from every source from government, I suppose. Bhanumati, I'm just in a lighter way and I'm telling you, you are given 25 crore for Indutech Center of Excellence. But for cluster development, you should look at the bottom of the pyramid, not the highest part of it. It is for the very, very common to common person, people, artisans. And it is no more of our contribution rather than taking funding from the government. But once you produce craft documentation with the presence of craft documentation, lot of government agencies, be it Khadi board, Khadi village industry, or NABARD, or Cooptex of your state, or pre-SDC of our state in Bangalore, APCO in Andhra and Odisha. Every state has got funding. That is not the problem, but how you are going to intervene? It is just for documentation purpose. Nobody will give funding. But what is the intervention you are going to propose? Then they will do this. That's a way you should look at the funding sources. Of course, every craft supporting institution, Craft Council of India, the umbrella body, of course, and Development Commissioner Handicrafts coming out with inviting applications for every time, cluster study. But diagnostic study, SWOT analysis, craft documentation should be done from our end. As a faculty, student, as a learner, we should do some primary research and go to the department with the research documents. Then government will come forward to do something of this. Hope I answered you.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is from Vaishali Menon. 1 minute, sir. Do you think design intervention in terms of change in design and material is accepted by craft cluster?
Do you think design intervention in terms of change in design materials accepted by craft cluster? Of course. You see Chenapatna, last 10 years, 15 years, completely changed. Rashmi Munshi presented sometime back, about 2-3 days back, I suppose, with the same forum, the same platform. She is very much involved in Chenapatna cluster development intervention. She has done her PhD in this area. Of course, there are a lot of intervention and tools, changes in the tools and the way everything changed. It is possible. Bellary is one of the examples of intervention. UNIDO Textiles Committee of Government of India, and of course, and all other institutions played a major role, transforming Bellary way of jeans. And now Bellary has got a brand and identity in the global way. And Mukkal Murugu is another place where KSDC, PS, is doing some intervention. So craft, definitely there is a scope, because we cannot take that the product to the next level and also support. We should do I mean, go to Hospet area, you live with Lambanis, get some ideation from, you do this and intervene with your own creative skills and help the artisans. And in the entire process, we are not diluting, compromising the existing, the cluster character. The product character never get changed. Only the form of offering is changed. So I believe Vaishali is convinced with my answer.
Thank you, sir.
The coloring part of the Chenapatna toys is entirely, now it is very safe. It is not the conventional way. Thereby, the child will not get any infection by using the colored dyed craft from Chenapatna. So that's what the material changes, design changes are accepted very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So the question is from called a product called Sungudi Sari. What is the present situation about that sari, sir? Is it accepted by the mass in the mass market, or it is after getting GI indication? It's not accepted presently, sir. It's vanishing. So what can be?
No. It's a different picture altogether.
Yes, sir.
Sungudi is another form of it is tie and dye method only, but instead of yarn, sometimes they do it with the fabric. Sungudi sari.
Yes, sir.
Ideally, it is done of the product. Most of the people may be aware. The width of the sari is the scale by which they make the Sungudi sari. That is a funda. Length, it could be any meter length, but the width is most important to achieve the motifs. And there is no design aspects with respect to the flower or any other animals or something, or bird or something. Typically we use it in silk sari, but here it is the polka dot kind of thing only will come, but the dots are done with the tie and dye method. The fabric is done that way, and original Chungadi sari is down by Saurashtriya craft people. They are originating from Gujarat, South Gujarat, travel to Maharashtra, Karnataka, then part of Tamil Nadu, Tanjore and Tiruchi, Madurai area. They do this, and what they do is actually they do it with natural yarn and natural dyes. But now, after geographical indication, it is preserve one natural part, but it's still artificially they do. They make the print. The Chungadi sarees are available in a cheaper price, 400 rupees a saree. Print is available. The original is costing, of course, 750 to 80 grams of the saree, costing about nearly 800 to 100,000. But the strike-off version is available. I mean, the people who synthetic saree with a print look alike Chungadi is also available. Sagar craft is never been removed or eliminated, but used for different purposes, right? And if you don't mistake, I will tell you, I mean, the people go to the Adiparasakti pilgrimage from Karnataka. You can see most of them wear this Chungadi type of, but that is a synthetic version, not original version.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. The next question is
Yes.
government doing well in promoting handloom products, but when compared to other private retails, it is still lagging. So how to overcome it?
Private entrepreneurships are cannot be equalized or compared with the government system, because government is purely bureaucratic and hierarchy based. But of course, when Mr. Sagayam is an Indian administrative person, he was heading Coptex typically. He made Coptex is profitable after 25 years and made every household of government employees should buy Coptex products. But the products are catalogued with the weaver and also the quality assurance. Thereby, the buyers is not at all cheated. So the buyers are quality, and of course, and he was the one who initiated in two, if I remember, started with typically done it in Mount Khadi Day in Bangalore. Similarly, he has done and taking some inspiration discussion with all of us. He made the college campus selling by Coptex in Madurai. Lady Dope started with, then Fatima, then let just followed. Now it is a time during September every college, maybe August nowadays. In the recent time it is 7th August is a handloom day, but earlier he brought in this culture of the selling campus, Coptex campus selling exhibition done it. Exhibition comes sale done it in college campuses. Thereby they made a very good profit. So it is up to the leadership of the company or the government organization or cooperatives. But whether it is government or non-government or private, as a customer, you should have some love with the handloom products and craft. If you do continuously do it, at least for your towels and bed sheets and pillow cover and some furnishing elements, you pay some of your money expenses towards handloom, then the industry's craft is always preserved without waiting for the private retailer or government retailers to intervene. So as a customer, we should intervene. That is what my suggestions to all my friends. If you wear a couple of khadi wear and handloom wear, that itself is more than enough. And we are the best ambassadors. Who else can talk about these products, about this culture and the making of the product? Then all our friends will follow, relatives will not. The textile will improve. So it is up to us.
Thank you, sir. The next question is there any...
Somebody
Hello?
Somebody, Textiles Committee Calcutta asked about banana.
Yes, sir.
Who is the
Banana.
gentleman on this particular commission? Banana fibers, of course, is done in product development in Chenimalai. Of course, 5P itself is doing banana fiber and also, I mean, some other natural fibers with hemp fiber and pineapple fiber they make. But of course, industrially, they largely depend on, industry cottons and modal and rayons and other thing. Of course, natural fiber wave, banana bass fiber, they use it. Yes, they make already. It is in their website. It is available. They make bamboo and banana fiber as well. They do that.
Where it is commercially available, sir?
Sorry.
Where it is commercially available, banana fiber. So you want to develop the product in handloom out of banana fibers for the continuous supply of the banana ears, where it is commercially available in Chennai.
Sir, it is available commercially. We can get good fiber banana fibers from Tirupur as well as
from Tirupur.
Coimbatore. Of course, the production. Yeah, Tirupur it is available. Tirupur itself is available. Anandi Enterprises, largest banana fiber based knitwear production in the country, continuously is exporting nearly to the tune of 20 to 25.
What is the name of the company?
Anandi Enterprises, Mr. Balagunathan.
Okay, nice.
Anandi Enterprises is available in Tirupur itself, and has the banana clusters in 7 districts: Tiruchi, Tanjore, and of course Lachi area and Bhavani area and all. Bhavani, Tex Valley area, they procure and all, and they get a lot of banana productions, fiber productions from south of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, basically Padmanabhapuram, Takkalai, and Balram from Kerala, and Tirupanitura. Those belt is growing a lot of banana. They get it, but put together all 5 or 6 states in South India, we find nearly 50 plus different varieties of banana plants. That is, the plantain plants are different. And Anandapur is one of the best sources. So, Venkateswara University, Anandapur has already tied up with Atal Incubation Mission, making nearly 1,000 acres available for banana fiber cultivation. And you know very well, I mean, it is sad to mention, but it is also the blessing in disguise that happened during the Gaja cyclone, happened in 2017, November 15, 16th of 2017, November. Yeah, cyclone affected 7 districts of Tamil Nadu, and nearly 6 lakh banana plants have been damaged. But some of these people, entrepreneurs, they have taken nearly 1 lakh banana. They brought in and they actually removed all the wastages and made. Next 1 year, they made a lot of banana fiber, yarn, then both weaving by woven as well as knitted, and they exported. And the entire process of 1 lakh banana fiber, whatever the production, the final product, and they exported to 2 countries. One is Netherlands and also some part of France. But whatever the proceeding from the Netherlands is a totally diverse to the banana farmers, because they tied up with the banana farmers. And the Confederation of Indian Industry, we do banana fair every year, and we are also associating with nearly 30 to 40 banana growing association, growers association, and to make consolidating the base. And that is what I shown. AEC Atal Incubation Center in Tirupur is tying up with the NITI School of Fashion Technology and Interior Design, of course, with the 5P as a production people, but the cluster development craft intervention will be done by institutions. And already we have done with the KSR College, and Banari also is going to be there. So sitting in Tex Valley, I am just coordinating with this, all the institutions who are all volunteering. Somebody from Andhra can help. I mean, Venkatagiri people cannot come to Anandapur because both are different directions. One is in Ongole, Nellore, another one is in Indapur border area. But from here, we can coordinate with the university to support the grower association, be it banana or any other natural. From there, that raw materials are collected, and we do the fiber production, yarn production in that particular location. We don't want to bring that waste here. The final products from the yarn stage, yarn and fiber will be collected and bring it to Tamil Nadu area for the garment or fabric production.
Okay. If you want to develop the entrepreneurship,
I mentioned about Dr. Venkatesh also. He's been doing very good for. Of course, he's trying to continue the profit-making culture with it. See, but the problem, the product innovation is not there much in Cooptex. That's the only issue. Otherwise, people are doing it.
Design intervention. There are a lot of design intervention in Cortex. We have seen a lot of fairs in actually Calcutta, organized by the Cortex.
Yeah.
They have done a lot of design intervention, new dimensions of the design.
The problem is, Cortex, sir, I really buy your idea and I appreciate. When Cortex comes to Calcutta, they don't bring Calcutta consumer aspiration. They bring only Tamil Nadu, which is totally different from Calcutta culture or West Bengal culture of dresses, colors, and designs and everything. See, you are highly connected with Madhubani and West Bengal design cultures are entirely different, and you have a lot of institutions supporting West Bengal handlooms. The Bengali cotton itself is a different, the product of tradition and heritage.
Yeah.
Unless Cortex bring those kind of design and culture, how Bengali people will buy? That is the reason. So even if they bring, but now with the NABARD has got one there now tied up with the Text Valley. We are now giving a lot of design inputs institution. They are going, for example, one producer organization formed by NABARD, taking a lot of design. Now they are going to, Maharashtra. Last 2 years they got in Gujarat during Durga festival with the reflection of colors, motifs, designs liked by those region. The production here, but the designs are from Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Maharashtra. Accordingly, they are making very good money. They are making about 1.5 to 2 crore business every year in Durga festival alone.
Okay.
So if they go with the customer in mind with the products, then of course do that.
Sir, my last question is.
Please.
Sir,
Please, sir.
My name is Dr. Shomen Mabdar. I'm the officer in charge Textiles Committee, Government of India, Kolkata.
Congratulations. You must be knowing Mr. Periyasamy.
Yeah.
He is now in charge of.
Periyasamy
is
very
our,
proactive.
Yes, he is now the incubation in charge. We visited, Michael Periyasamy visited Niti School and met with the director and principal, Madam Dr. Sadhya Ravi. And we made, but due to this pandemic situation, we could not continue. But our dialogues are continuing, and we are going to engage Niti School, not only Niti School, any other college or institution coming forward to support the nearby cluster craft. We are going to support them for their incubation and development.
Yeah, sir. Just a minute.
Now
just
you are.
Sir, we are now working for a cluster development program for the last 10 years in Bengal's largest cluster, Shantipur and Fulia, where we have tried to do a lot of work, but as a product development, promotions of the design studio, common facility center, or the effluent treatment plant. Yes. But one of but a lot of, because here is in district nearby the cluster, the banana is one of the most prolific agricultural commodity there. So fiber is available. We want to develop entrepreneurship there. So how you can help? That is number one. And what we want second, we want to source the banana fiber from Tamil Nadu. How in these two respects we want the help of you?
Sir, there are two interesting things. One is collectively we all institutions together we can help for the entrepreneurial development. That is not a problem. Okay. The second thing, the fiber, banana fiber produced in Tamil Nadu area, whether those things are matching your requirement, because the strand and the strength of banana fiber CSB is different from what is available in Andhra Pradesh, Anandapur belt, and some in the east part of Andhra Pradesh. So depends on your requirement. We can find out the cluster.
Because we are using mostly the finer count yarn actually. So 80s or 100s.
Then we can find out. We can give you different varieties. Something from.
So I'll be in touch with you.
South part of Tamil Nadu, some Kerala variety.
Okay.
Something from this central part of Tamil Nadu. You can test it and then match your requirement. Then we can ideally develop the product design, and we can involve institutions as well. And entrepreneurship development, don't worry, your ex-colleague, Deputy Director Perisami, is a person who is motivating us, a lot of entrepreneur
Excellent.
incubation for this purpose. So we'll all collaborate.
Okay.
Grow together, sir.
Okay. So nice presentation, sir. Okay. Very nice presentation. Thank you.
Yeah. Sir, you have my email ID. You please send the details.
I'll
Do this. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, it's another question for you. This is from Nivedita from Banariaman Institute. Is there any tie-up
it's pending.
with Text Valley offer for students to do proper cluster study with your craft cluster and 5Ps?
Yes, we are evolving in that. And for our information, Bannari is one of our MOU partner already. Last year, they came and coordinated some competitive events for our students from various institutions, and we should thank them for their active involvement with Text Valley support. And for this, Institute of Transformation happening in Text Valley, they are really contributing and supporting a lot of things. And yes, ma'am, in fact, Nivedita, we are here. You tell us who are ready on virtual internship we can design. And I want to mention that already 2 or 3 students from School of Fashion Technology will be offered some virtual from some companies of the partners. So similarly, we will identify, we can develop this cluster initiative and craft initiative, then we can offer. Definitely, why not? With the 5P, yes, of course. 5P industry guide and the Text Valley as the facilitator and the institutions, so we can all, bring together something valuable to the society. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So, the question from RDF. May I know the cluster based on jute fibers?
The natural jute clusters are from Bihar and West Bengal. Naturally, it's a jute clusters are there, but now induced clusters are there. Some part of Odisha and some part of Andhra Pradesh. Telangana is coming up with jute induced cluster. That means artificially they identify lands and they cultivate. But again, the jute manufacturing corporation of India. Then Jute Corporation India is there, and Jute ke liye Jute Council of Export Promotion Council. So many people are there involved, and each of them, of course, National Handloom Development Corporation also play a major role in Chhattisgarh and the Bodoland area for jute intervention. You please tell us very specifically. What is the outcome or application of jute? So according to you, the cluster suggestion, then you can take it up. Choose it from the list, but unless we know what purpose is used right from carry back to the level. And very recently, Reliance Trends has developed a fabric which is 60% jute and 40%, but the jute is treated in a manner, it is looking like your polynosic kind of. The jute is treated in a nice way, and of course mechanically they treated, but that is not recyclable. That is the only problem because of the treatment. Otherwise, jute and cotton both are important partner of natural thing, but due to the treatment, some synthetic application happen for the fineness of the fabric. But now they are finding out some natural gum. Somebody mentioned like we have to talk to PAG Technology on this treatment as well for this thing, because for industry thing they are coming out with a lot of natural chemicals kind of thing. Thereby the fabric finishing is done without chemical, artificial chemical or synthetic chemicals intervention. So like this, if all of us put our mind together and group together, work on this, then definitely there will be a solution on this.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hope I answered. Yes. Yeah.
Somasundaram
Somebody
sir.
asked. lady, you can please.
Excellent session.
Yeah, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Yes, sir. Excellent session.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I think it was very, very beneficial. And I think it is going to take off from here, and I think it's going to be helpful for all colleges, because we want all the fashion students under one umbrella, so that they all will be having the same kind of knowledge which is disseminated through the teachers. Thank you very much for your presentation, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I don't think there are
My
any
duty I have done.
Yeah, there are. I don't think there are any more questions, if I am not wrong. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
there are no more questions, sir. And people want your mail ID, which we will share it in the group. Thank you so much,
Please,
sir.
ma'am. Ma'am, I request one thing. No, I could not address individually, but I require all of their email ID. From
Sure,
Textually,
I shall
we are
mail it to
starting.
you.
Just one message I want to convey.
Okay.
I mean, just go with the trend of the life and the way of life. We tied up
Okay.
with the fiber to fashion. All of you know very well that is one of the secondary data source for all of us. We tied up
sir.
with them, and we are actually starting our virtual fiber and fashion show sourcing show from 15th of August. Actually, for next 4 months, all our fabrics from major corporate companies to small businesses. Textually, of course, we are participating with 30 odd manufacturers. We request all of you to just register yourself as a visitor. The Fiber to Fashion Sourcing Show 2020, and if you share their email ID, all of these people email ID, then I can with the entry passes or registration link. So I want to send them the product brochures to everyone. Yes.
Sure, sir. So what I'll do is tomorrow after the session, the last session is tomorrow.
Yes.
After that, I will send across everybody's email ID. I hope nobody has a problem if I send the email ID. With your kind permission, all the participants, I shall pass on your email ID to Somasundaram, sir, so that further you can...
Most of them know it, but still, and for some people, for my purpose, I want their email ID to us, so that I can thank them and also share the brochure. Thank you very much.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And I think, sir, there was one question. I think this is from RPD AFD, PSG. My doctorate research was on jute cotton. I'm working further.
I'm working.
Yeah. That's Pratibha from PSG.
We can help, with available products and also design development. And Dr. Pratibha, you please get in touch with us. Your requirement. I can put on to 5P. Not only 5P. We have another company. Which is working closely with our Tex Valley. That is called Anandi Enterprises in Tirupur, and a lot of other like-minded institutions are supporting. You please tell us what is your requirement. Accordingly, we will take it forward.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Once again, thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and detailing on the topic craft documentation and internship regarding skill development, cluster mapping, study on craft. Dear participants, feedback form is shared in the chat box. Please fill the feedback form. It will be active only for 10 to 15 minutes. Please fill the form on time. Dear participant, please note the second session by Ms. Rashmi Kadambi on topic the needlecraft and surface ornamentation will start at sharp 12. You all are requested to join the meeting at least 5 minutes prior to the commencement of session. See you all in the second session. Take care.